Hey, my name is PolishLynx and this is 1000 Lives. Let's continue. Some might say it was singing, I'd call it deafening noise. In search of peace, I go outside, and even though it stopped raining, I wouldn't have minded getting soaked again if it meant getting away from them. I'm sorry, Ziva, but you're tone deaf. It was this or burning the karaoke. The aroma of peace gives me in thoughts my senses as soon as I enter the garden, which is now illuminated by the shining lights attached to the house and placed within the pool. There, mesmerized by the serenity of the moment, someone else walks along the white ceramic edge of the pool, her reflection carelessly showing up the surface. She notices my presence as soon as I approach her and she turns around surprisedly. "Oh hey you, shouldn't you be inside? Enjoyed your birthday party?" When she's done speaking, her gaze once again drifts to the surface of the water. I prefer to keep my eardrums as safe as far away from Ziva's singing as possible, and I don't think it's just me. She livens up a little too much during parties and doesn't realize that her voice is beyond awful. Please understand. On the other hand, when I think about the suffering that the rest must be enduring, it's sad. Who'd have guessed that you can feel pity? Knowing you, I'd say that you enjoy watching others suffer. Only you, it's so sweet to indulge. Well, aren't you just a comedian? I do try to level with my audience. But I might have crossed the line here. Lucy crouches down next to the pool and lowers her voice. I can't get an answer by looking at her contour of her hair, so I decide to get closer to her to get a good view of her face. Be honest, you're jealous. Jealous? Of who or what? You're jealous of my superior cheating at poker skills. I might have failed with the very last step, but what I did still wasn't easy. I even gave all three of you some really great hands. How can you be so optimistic after how wrong everything went for you here? To realize that the first step to solving the problem is to admit that you have won? Let's just say that I'm having an unlucky streak, but I know what I'm doing. Winning depends on the person. There seems to be a discrepancy between your theory and reality. I'm being serious. I could give you an example, or better yet, we can make a bet on it. Don't realize that that's exactly the problem? Fine, we'll bet whatever you want. I'll win anyways. I take the deck of cards we used earlier out of one of my pockets and present it to the Lucy. The game is simple. I take a card and then try to throw it above the house's roof while standing right here. If it goes above the roof, I win. If I can't reach, you win. Simple, huh? Let me see, I don't trust you yet. Lucy takes the cards from my hand, ensuring that I'm not concealing any tricks within them. Once she finishes, she checks the distance to the building. It's about 30 feet from where I stand. Considering that it's a two-floor mansion, that's a pretty large distance to keep in mind. Before you start, I'd like to try it out myself. Do you mind if I throw some as test? As many as you want. She holds the deck with her left hand, then lifts her right arm over her head with the first card clasped between her fingers, and using all her strength she tries to throw it. However, the card doesn't make it past her feet. Wait a second, I'm sure that there must be a technique to it, like those guys who throw cards into heads. Lucy tries it over and over again, in every single way that she can think of. None give positive results, even when she's lucky with the wind and her position that the card could actually manage to fly the distance and half is almost impossible. They are too slim, so the moment they bend to the wind resistance causes it to fall. But you know, you can get all the cards, put them in this box, you basically carry the cards in and then throw it, and it's still the correct thing. And it would work. In any case, Lucy doesn't really trust me at all, especially considering that I'm the one who proposed the bet, so she decided to add her own rules. I'm pretty sure that there must be crazy experts out there breaking records every day, so there must be a technique to this. The point is, even like that, I doubt that you can actually do it. To be safe, I only give you one chance. If you miss, then you lose. No other tries allowed. That was the plan from the beginning. Not so fast. I also want you to throw it from even further away, 5 steps backwards. I'm positive that you have the distance measured. I can make it easy for you. You don't take any chances. Okay, I'll try. I don't walk away from my bets like a coward. You can't take it back now, you know? We haven't even established the most important thing yet either. What do I get if I win? I haven't put much thought into it, but I'd be so much as ready to wear that Speedo again. And going home wearing the Speedo? Is your cruelty limitless or what? You're the one who chooses the game, so I'm the one who decides the wagers. Okay, whatever. For my prize, I just want you to tell me what's wrong. Nothing has been wrong. What makes you think that? If there's nothing wrong, then you don't have anything to lose. Win-win, don't you think? Lucy puts one of her hands on her waist, tilting her head indecisively. Her eyes grow sharp, and she decides to put the deck back in my hand without letting go of them. I didn't realize that you worried about others so much. I don't. Let's just say that it's part of my evil plan. She smiles pleased, allowing me to take back the deck of cards. I copy Luce's previous movements, taking the deck in my left hand and holding the first card above mine with my right hand. I stand as far away as she requested, and I use her some position to ready the card with my right arm and bend behind my head, then throw the card with all of my strength. The rectangular object flies up, restlessly spinning around the flies over the rooftop, making me the clear winner. It flew away like it was nothing. How did you do that? I can tell you, it would be less personal. Come on, don't be such a schmuck. Tell me, it's not like I could learn it on one day. You must have practiced really hard to learn that. Not as much as you think. I could tell you, but I will need you to admit that I've won first. Okay, let's say that you've won. I still can't trust you when you say things like that. Good to know, because you probably don't really want to know that what I actually threw was one of these. I open one of my hands, revealing not your usual playing card, but something closer to a hard plastic card. To be exact, it's a key card. It's like the ones they use in hotels. And with a magician's gesture, the card multiplies, revealing 5 in total. I always take some of these when I find them, and since they are similar in size and color, it's easy to pass them off as playing cards. While they're flying, it's impossible to see what I actually drew. Plus, these cards have the advantage of being more solid and thick. Basically, you tricked me. I'm not really sure about it being fair, but I'll accept it for now. There must be something wrong with you if you gather garbage like that all the time. You should recycle them instead of throwing them. It's not garbage if it has a use. Part of the trick is that nobody expects you to have something like this. I finally win, and now you're trying to make me look bad. Bad? No, you've got it wrong. I'm only stating the facts. It's you who's misunderstanding me. Do you remember the basketball match, for example? You told me that I probably love that sport a lot. Well, surprise, I quit it. Lucy folds her arms, speaking in a natural tone while faking a smile. She takes her time before saying that anything else, and I give her as much time as she may need, knowing that she's just honoring her part of the bet we made. She inhales and starts walking alongside the pool as she explains. After so many years of playing, I realized that something had changed. It wasn't the same as before. That's what made me lie about my injury on that day, and skipping the training sessions, I realized something simple. I feel indifferent about basketball. It's not like I wanted to go pro, nor did I have any kind of special relationship with my team. So thinking about the huge amount of time I had decided to do that game made the whole thing feel ridiculous. I don't think it was a waste of time. You can learn from anything, and I had some fond memories of it, but I still can't stop wondering about it, all the dreams I had in the past and I will have in the future. Well, that seems a bit similar to me quitting football. Give it my best, put in effort. I'll do everything to reach the moment where I can say that I finally have an objective, a reason to fight and keep going. Like anyone else my age, I was questioning what my next steps will be from here on out. Nothing abnormal, nothing interesting for you to hear. Have I bored you enough yet or not? I get closer to Lucy, making us stand face to face. What are you doing? It's part of my evil plan. I place my hands on her shoulders, strongly gripping them. I can feel her breathing quicken, and my heartbeat follows with a similar tempo. Our pupils dilate, our faces grow red. I swallow nervously, then moisten my lips with the tip of my tongue. I open them once, I get close to her, and then I whisper, Vendetta! Huh? I push Lucy into the pool. I can see her surprised expression as she falls, and a smirk breaks out on my face for having finally obtained my long-awaited revenge. Not so fast! However, she managed to grab the sleeve of my shirt as she's folding her grip hard enough to destabilize me, causing me to fall with her. In the end, we both fall into the pool. When I come up for air, I see her. Tiny water droplets dance around her silhouette, reflecting the light from the pool's underwater lights, highlighting her figure. Her soaked clothes stick to her shimmering skin, captivating me as if she's the only being currently in existence under this moonless night. My jaw drops, causing me to accidentally swallow some water until I eventually manage to ground myself so that I don't drown. She looks at me, her eyes filled with a lot of confusion. But after exchanging looks, the only thing we can do is laugh. Vendetta, could you possibly get any stupider? Lucy splashes some water at me in a pointless attempt to look angry. Aren't you the one who's always bringing justice? There's no older law than an eye for an eye. She shakes her head in denial and brushes her hair away with her hands, clearing her face. I might have lied about that although. Embarrassed, her lips seems to shrink. She bites her lower lip and turns to face a different direction while murmuring something. Everything's easier when accompanied by pleasant sounding words, knowing that you are doing the right thing because it's too convenient, right? We stand in silence. Only the sound of our movements in the water interrupts it. There's a path created by friends and family that's too good not to be taken, but you get to a point where you worry so much about being on the path that you start to hide even the most harmless things from them, like me withdrawing. I don't think it was justice that I really wanted, not even recognition, but to follow the easiest path. I just justified it with lies, and in my case, a lie I pretended was called effort. And now I worry about whether or not I was right, and if I wasn't only taking art seriously because I wanted to escape the chance of failure or discovering that it's not for me, just like with basketball. I don't want to look at you and have to admit my mistake in choosing this path. It wouldn't be fair after all I've made you go through, and it would be also a pity. Because I love teasing you! Lucy tilts her head, bringing one of her fingers to her chin in of her wild expressions that always manages to make an impression of me. Alright, now that I think about it, she's probably the wisest choice, okay? Her sharp eyes petrify me, leaving only the distant murmurs from the house and the small waves in the pool to accompany her indecisive yet embarrassed expression. What I'll never know is if it's of embarrassment from her own words or because of the transparency of her clothes. Somehow I feel responsible for it, and I try to continue from where she left off. You may be wrong, nobody can be sure about their own feelings, about if what they feel is real or not. In my opinion, if you put so much effort into something only to keep it a secret, then that must mean that it matters to you, right? She gets closer to me, floating with a subtle and gentle jump, keeping our eyes on par with each other. She makes me nervous, so I try to take a step backward, now leaving me standing on only a single toe. I thought you were crazy at first, so I went with the flow because I was looking to have something distracting fun. However, you are still here. I'd like to propose something. It may be a bit late to do it now, and selfish coming from me, but we've already kinda become associates, so I have a favor to ask of you. Lucy comes even closer to me, to the point that I can feel her hands brushing against me through the soft waves in the pool. I want to see how far we can get together, what we can learn about each other, what I can get from it now that I can draw with someone by my side. She's so close that I can even hear the water droplets dripping off of her face, so close that I can smell the scent of her skin leaking out from her pores and into the water. Will you stay with me until the end, CR? CR? I step back again, losing the small margin that had once allowed me to breathe. Lucy looks at me perplexedly, and this time I can give her an eloquent or sarcastic response, as we usually do with each other. Because I'm drowning. What the? Lucy grabs me just in time and manages to pull me out of the water so that I can grab the edge of the pool and support myself. I manage to get out, lie down on the floor and recover my stamina. What happened? Why were you suddenly drowning? Lucy stands next to me, still soaked, and I try to answer her, even though my lungs feel completely empty. Couldn't reach. Couldn't reach? I pushed you in the pool earlier and you were fine. It might have been the shallow part, but... You can't swim? I lower my head embarrassedly and say nothing. You can't swim! Could you be any more useless? Sneering as only she can, she goes to grab me a towel and throws it in my direction afterwards. Use this, I'll go inside to get another towel. Lucy says goodbye, still laughing about discovering another weakness that she can use against me from now on. The sound of the sliding door closing leaves me alone in the garden, sitting near the edge of the pool. And earlier they told me that there was only one towel. I observed the pool, silently thinking about what had just happened. Now that I think about it, that was the first time she ever used my name. Holy crap! Actually, okay, I have to go with this. Leaving already? I've lent you some clothes, so you shouldn't have to worry about getting cold. But if you insist... Yeah, it's late. I won't take a shower, and I may not be tired yet, but I know I'll end up exhausted from this long day. In any case, I want to thank you for everything. It was a great birthday, and I really had fun. The boy-girl ratio will be even more in my favor if you leave, so I can't complain, but... Are you sure that nothing bad happened? On the contrary, yes. Then... It's because everything went so well. I observed the house from the outside, looking at the lit-up windows, trying to catch some sort of movement from the distance. I sigh, decide to forget about it and walk along the walls of Osa's house on my way home. But as I turn around the corner, I find someone waiting for me. As usual, this was something only she could predict, surprising me again. Leaving without this here? The uphill walk through the narrow streets of our old town is filled with silence. The road languishes under the bronze streetlights. No noise is about except that from our own footsteps, creating a uniquely peaceful and disturbingly calm atmosphere. The norm up until now was for me to listen to Claire, talk non-stop about whatever would come to her mind in that instant, but now she's completely quiet. A behavior that she has been appropriating since my birthday party first started. I already knew that in front of other people she would act shy and vulnerable, but that has always ended as soon as we are alone together. In its place, she makes fleeting eye contact, then immediately hides under her hat. What's wrong? Is there something wrong with my face? No, it's not anything. I'm just very happy. Did something happen when I wasn't looking? I thought you were having a hard time because of your, well, social shyness. Honestly, I'm not the kind of girl who enjoys spending her time with other people. Your friends are great and for fun, but I have to admit that I was starting to feel a bit overwhelmed. Even Dennis, I thought you already knew him from before. He's an exception. We were friends a long time ago, and we'd always meet in a certain place, but one day something happened and we never met again. Our friendship grew instant over time, and although we get along, there's a wall between us that neither of us have any intention of tearing down. You make it sound as if something terrible happened. I wonder if that's actually it. Claire makes it clear with her nostalgic tone, and by lowering her head, that she would prefer not to keep talking about this topic. In its place, I change the topic of what I hope will bring back out the Claire I know. That doesn't explain why were you so happy to Erifa. What actually happened? You happened to see her. I'm happy that I was able to attend your birthday party and for being able to walk by your side. Alright. I know I said Lucy is probably the best option, but Claire is also amazing. God damn it. Any vestige of sadness evaporates from her face as she clings to one of my arms with a tight grip. Claire's feelings are still strange to me, even though I have all the knowledge of them I need, so her displays of affection still takes me by surprise every time. I myself, when I'm with you, I'm not the kind of person who would hug anyone for no reason, much less be discomfortable around the other person. But if it's you, then I don't mind. There's nothing holding me back. I stop walking on the middle of the hill and stand still. Claire then lets go of my arm and looks at me with uncertainty. I've already noticed what's happening. I've been trying to ignore her extremely abnormal behavior, but it's only managed to make me even more suspicious since, after all, Claire's still kind of stranger to me. If you had nothing to hide, then there was no reason for me to make it so hard for us to meet. Every time I think I've gotten to know you better, you manage to do something that I can't understand. Why does Lucy's neighbor have the package I was waiting for example? Was that also part of the drink? That was an accident. An accident? What the hell are you talking about? Look, Claire, I understand that you want to stay with me, know me, and all of that. I feel honored by that, but I need the full truth. Alright, I wanted to come to this ahead of time, but I guess I can say today with certainty. She bows her head, closes her eyes, and inhales deeply. I turn around and wait for her shivers. Shivers going down my spine for every second that I wait. She opens her eyes, looks at me tenderly, and a car drives past our side of the sidewalk at full speed, instinctively forcing us to take cover because of the noise. What a psycho, he almost drove over the sidewalk. Are you okay? Claire nods in response. Let's go to the other side. It's a bit wider, so it will be safer. Claire doesn't really look convinced, but she accepted, following me while I cross the road. Halfway there, she takes my hand and forces me to stop walking. I love you, Ciar. I try to turn around, but she grabs my shirt as tightly as she can and buries her face in my back. Succumbing to embarrassment, she keeps telling me that she loves me, clearing any doubts I had as she continues yelling into my back. I've loved you since the first moment I saw you. At first I wasn't sure about it, or I didn't want to be, but I have no more doubts. Today I can say it fearlessly. I want to stay forever, Ciar. You make me feel special, and for that reason I can't let you leave me, no matter what the cost is. She pulls on my shirt, shaking as she fears that I will disappear in a second. Claire, no. Don't say anything. Her small arms intertwine beneath my chest, squeezing on me with all of her strength. She's making it hard for me to breathe, but that doesn't matter. I've told you millions of times, right? I've told you millions of times, right? After all, to me the most important thing is for you to be truthful, but there are some truths that hurt more than others. I look at her and carefully hold her tiny hands, managing to dislodge them off of me little by little until I can turn around. Claire's hiding under her hat again, so to make eye contact I kneel down, embracing her hands with mine. What can I do for you, Claire? What did I do to make you fall in love with me? I know what I could have done for this to happen. There are things in this world that we know without facts or reason. We can only hope that they continue being real for the rest of our lives. But I'm certain that in this case, not even time can tear my feelings away from me. I stand up, a guilty feeling suddenly welling up in my throat. Claire hugs me once more, this time from the front, resting her head against my chest and listening to my quickened heartbeat. Neither of us say anything for at least 2 minutes. I remain deaf, even to the chatter of a couple of pedestrians that pass up. It's the shine and softness of her hair, interlaced between my fingers, that grabs my attention like a treasure that I can't leave behind. The warmth of her clear skin, even just touching it through her clothes, makes my sense of touch react, struggling to understand the texture of her fragile figure. Seconds later, I feel her struggling to push away. I react surprisedly and let her go, even though I don't really want to break the contact. Let's make a deal, Ciar. Claire takes a deep breath, gathering the courage she needs to speak. Her voice is gentle and sweet, but somehow also solemn. I've told you how I feel, but now I want to know how you feel about me, and I'd like to know your answer before we part ways on graduation day. On that day, I want to hear your answer. I want to know the truth. I want to be satisfied if you aren't sure by then. I've told you many times that I don't like half-baked answers. Whatever it is, I want it to be real. I simply nod, confused. The presence she transmits, inconceivable for her height, doesn't allow me to give any other response. I'm glad that you understand. Claire sighs in relief, lifting a wave of my shoulders. She reaches towards my hand, holding it affectionately and blushing. Meanwhile, we decide to start heading home. I don't remember when we left the narrow streets of our town, nor the time it took us to return to our houses, considering that time itself had disappeared for the rest of the night as we walked side by side, holding hands. I never did get the answers that I was searching for, and Claire's still a stranger to me in a lot of ways. But neither of those is an excuse for me to ignore the unconventional love story that's developing right before my eyes, and longer. The inevitable conclusion even has a present date. This time, I will have to write an ending. Yep, you will have to write an ending. Chapter 4. I don't even remember when we started chapter 3. Oh crap! Why did you leave the other day, Yan? We were at the best part! It might have been late, but it was your party. You could at least say goodbye or something instead of making us do it for you. Why did you do it? Okay, let's make one thing clear. What would you say if the girl had horns? Like a bull? Getting bald could definitely be an issue for sure, but it'd be worth it for a girl who's always horny. Yeah. What in the name of God are you guys talking about? Stop ignoring me! We're still going on with the Ideal Girl Challenge we started the other day. Today is the Monster Girls edition. Won't I join it? No, I'm trying to talk about something more here, and you guys are ignoring me and discussing nonsense. It's not nonsense, Eva. Monster girls need love too, and I'm not about to be the one to deny it to them. Just what? I need that you're siding with him, Hoss. Aren't you angry that he just up and left after using your house for his party? Listen here, Elamia, you know the ones that are half girl, half snake. What do you say about them? It's the same thing as with mermaids, so I don't even care which half we're talking about. The Lamia will be the same, but without the water issue. Hello? He thanked me, Ziva. What else do I need? You could at least pretend that you care about what I say. An apology, an explanation, an excuse. Give me something. After all the effort we put in, you left without a word and act as if it's normal. You're talking about girls that don't even exist. A harpy, but keep in mind that just like full birds, she'd have a really short memory. I was talking to you, Engine. Look at my face when I'm speaking to you. Agitated, Ziva hits my desk and gets up in my face so closely that she's all I can see. Tired of her complaints, I breathe in deeply and wait for her to go away. Sorry, I wasn't pretending you sound angry. I'll tell you the truth if that's what you want. I left the end. It's as simple as that. It wasn't anyone else's fault. It was late and I felt like going home. Now, can we get back to the harpies? It was quite an important question. And my answer is of course. She could take me and fly around, and with her short memory, everything would feel as if it were the first time. That's an advantage in a certain way. I seriously don't understand you guys. Don't think for a second that I'm gonna give up just like that. On the contrary, you've given me another reason to worry about you as my patient. Are we going back to the patient thing? I thought we were finally done with that. Read my notebook and the other day. I don't get why you keep going. Next, Oz, what about Centaur? What do you say? She's more horse than woman. Come on, Commander. The writing joke is too easy even for more. Oh, you only had a couple of chapters of story about a wolf in there. It was a disappointment. So, we finally admit that you read it even though you denied it earlier. Yeah, well, I read it a bit, so what? It was an awful story and I hated it. Hey, Zipa. I haven't read it, but could you try to make your critique a little more constructive? If he was embarrassed to show us, it was for a reason. Don't worry, House, it's fine. I understand that everyone will like that kind of story. In my defense, though, it isn't even finished yet. But what will you say about her slime? A girl with most of her body composed of a jelly-like substance. I don't know if you've heard of them before. So, she's delicious in every sense of the word. Seriously, Sierra, you have to make this harder. In fact, Jello is one of my favorite desserts, especially if I'm having a bad day. I know a pretty good place to buy jelly desserts in town too. What do you say, Siva? Would you like to come with me? I'll let you vent your sorrows to me since you seem to be a bit angry about this. I'm sorry, but today is impossible. Thanks for the offer. Come on, Ziva, you're better than that. First you complain about how plain my goodbyes are, and then you turn down also without even coming up with a good enough excuse. I can't, okay? I'm already meeting someone. You don't care anyways. You don't care about anything at all, right? You guys can keep it up with your girl thing. I'm going to get ready for the next class. Ziva's acting pretty weird, isn't she? She's in quite the rush. I don't think I've ever seen her like this before. She's really cheerful and never gets angry with you. Ozzy's right. Ziva's acting differently today, and watching how she lives, I can't help but wonder the same thing as my classmate. Who's she going to meet up with? For some reason it's weird for me to think about her as someone who goes out with others, even though I know how popular she is with everyone. People fall in love with her wherever she goes. She's probably asked out almost every day. Then why haven't I ever thought about her in that way before? I have an idea that can clear up our doubts. Time to put on boxes. I found girl. She has gold legs and play a flute. I'm sure you won't accept that. Okay, that's not what I accept. I expected. One question. Does she have a goatee? What? Oh, well, I don't really know. Does it matter? It's important. If she has a goatee, then yes. If she doesn't? Still yes. Why did you even ask anyways? I don't know as well. Alright, let's end the episode here. Hope you enjoyed it and see you in the next one. Bye bye.